And today we'll have Petrina Lins, who's an NLP coach. So she's all about um, mindset and business. And let's have her join us to see what she has to say. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I am good. How are you? Let's just jump right into it.
Sure.
How about you tell us a bit about yourself and your specialty?
Yeah, I'm a mindset coach for female entrepreneurs. I use NLP to help really reprogram their mind, shift limiting beliefs, and really feel like worthy and deserving of making money, of selling with
Mm.
confidence, of releasing all the imposter syndrome and everything. But yeah, like the goal is really to gain visibility and make make more money, make your first 4,000 or more money. Because like a lot of women have a lot of blocks around money and money mindset. So I love
Hmm.
like helping with that. Yeah.
So, what one piece of advice would you give to aspiring women who, not just, entrepreneur, but maybe, academic students, to overcome, imposter syndrome, or maybe they're lacking in confidence, or just, having a fear of moving forward with life.
Yeah. Well, it's a really important to get to the root cause of fear. And fear is universal emotion. Like everyone experiences fear, including myself as a mindset coach. It's not something that no one can ever not experience, but it's about working through it very quickly to keep taking action and keep showing up. Because when we act in a place of fear, like our thoughts determine how we feel, which determine how we take action, which create our results.
Mhm.
So if we are feeling afraid and we can't move past the fear, then the actions we take are going to be aligned with the fear. Whether that's not
Mhm.
taking action or whether like that's some kind of action, but that's not really like how we want to take action.
Mhm.
Um, or like if you acted from a place of excitement and confidence and like being able to do things and being courageous,
Mhm.
the opportunities and like the results would be different, right? Because like actions create a results. So it's really like noticing, creating self awareness, first of all,
Mhm.
when you're feeling afraid and when you're feeling the fear. And instead of pushing it aside, instead of like not wanting to listen to it or not wanting to hear it or feel
Mhm.
it, actually like listen to it first. Like the sooner you do this, the sooner it like goes away. So I would recommend, like first it's a feeling maybe, or maybe it's a thought you think of. But if it's a feeling first, then kind of like think about like the root cause of that fear. What is
Mhm.
really underneath that? Um, is it feelings of like I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, it's not gonna work, and like all this self-doubt.
Mhm.
And really like once you kind of like work through this enough, you'll realize when it's a limiting belief. And
Oh.
the thing is that limiting beliefs feel true. They feel true. They feel like they're the truth. Like it's not going to work out. I'm going to fail. Like, you know what I mean? Like in the moment when you're feeling
Mhm.
stuck and when you're feeling afraid, it feels super real.
Mhm.
But it's like knowing it ahead of time, I like to
Right.
do. So
Oh.
knowing ahead of time that eventually at some point, this is a pattern. Whenever I do this, I feel triggered and I feel fear. So I can plan ahead and like know that I'm going to feel fear. The thoughts are going to come and they're not necessary. And it's really creating distance from the thoughts. It's really like knowing that they're not true. They're not the ultimate truth. So if you like have a belief, like a limiting belief, like I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, which is like really the stem belief, like the one of the
Mhm.
limiting beliefs, the common limiting beliefs when it comes to imposter syndrome and making money and all these things is I'm not
Mhm.
enough, I'm not good enough. And like ask yourself, is that ultimately true? Is it ultimately
Mhm.
true that you're not good enough, that you don't know enough?
Right.
And like, has the universe, the higher power, God, like, is it written across the sky that you're not
Mhm.
good enough? Like, of course, ultimately true. So how can you see it
Mhm.
differently? So journal
Mm,
it, or, like journaling is super powerful actually. And
yeah,
I used to do this a lot.
100%. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I used to do this a
Oh, why
lot.
did you
Uh,
stop?
I stopped because I actually got so fast at shifting that I don't actually, like, I'll write on my journal for like
Oh,
one sentence, and then like by the
mm,
time I write it down, I don't even feel the fear anymore, you know? Or I kind of like
oh,
use other methods to I use other
mm,
methods to shift as well, like a lot of
mm.
affirmations, music now, and like incorporating other things, or like kind of doing the journaling thing but in my head, because I've practiced
Oh,
it so many times. It can like shift quicker, and that's what I teach, like, people in
mm,
my program. But yeah, what was I saying? So journaling, like,
oops.
dump out the limiting beliefs, dump it out, because
Mm-hmm.
when they're in your brain, they feel huge. When they're in
Mm,
your brain, they feel like it's just overwhelming. It's a lot, and it's almost like it's crippling.
uh-huh.
I've been stuck so many times before. Like, I know how difficult it is when you're feeling stuck, when people are
Mm,
feeling stuck. But when you journal it out, you see it on paper, and you kind of realize, like, that's kind of silly to say to myself that I'm like immature or childish. It's like some of the limiting beliefs that I that I've like came up with when I was like going through a funk or feeling stuck. Like, I'm not good enough, imposter syndrome, like things like that. So, but when I write it out, I see
mm,
it on paper, and I'm like, this is clearly, like, there's clearly things that, like, it's not ultimately true. And what you
mm,
can do is on the other side of the paper, so you can draw a line down the middle, and on the other side of the paper, you can write down the opposite, and like sort of neutralize the negative beliefs, and see
mm.
how it can be different. And kind of like look for evidence, because our brain loves to look for evidence, to really hold on to new beliefs, to really reprogram your mind.
So,
I know that was a long answer.
no, it's amazing. And actually, how, because you deal a lot with fear, right? And for me personally, even though I'm a personal trainer, I deal with a bit of fear, like either, of being judged, or a real fear of, say, like family medical history, and it's bad and people are afraid of it. So I can sort of relate it to business, like you would have a fear of, not being able to pay for your investment. And so those are, not just within yourself, but it is from the outside as well. And, how would you recommend people to deal with that kind of stress?
Yeah, but yeah, how to work through it, like, I would recommend people I would recommend that people work with a mindset coach, or someone, really
Mm-hmm.
someone who has experience working through and has knowledge with like the mind and how to overcome these things, to help really 'cause a lot of questions we don't know to ask ourselves when we are like experiencing fear.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also like having a new thought put in when you cannot see things differently. So that is, yeah, and all the mindset tools are extremely important. But other than that, I mean, journaling is super helpful too. There's
Mm-hmm.
great journal prompts on the internet, but again, it's like, I really think
Yeah.
mindset is so
It has to
important. And
be personalized, I think, because yeah, I try, because I do journal a lot myself. It's not for overcoming fear or anything. It's just for me to keep track of what I do every day. So my
Mhm.
reason for journaling is much different. And what I've seen online, all these prompts, it's just like whatever the author uses the most, and so they would put out for other people to use. And it's not, super, personalized into like, oh, you have this kind of limiting belief because of this that happened to you. It's
Yes.
actually like, oh, this is worked for me, so it's probably worked for you as well.
Right, right. And that's like really the beauty of like having one-on-one customization and things like that. And that's actually
Hmm.
like what I hear a lot when it comes to the visualization exercises that I do, that I lead for
Oh.
clients, like I hear like, wow, that was extremely, like I could just see everything. I could visualize everything because it was super tailored to me. Like they would tell me like I have gone on YouTube before and tried to listen to guided visualizations, and it was just
Mhm.
so broad. It was just so like cookie cutter. I
Right.
couldn't like fully feel it, but like in the calls,
Mhm.
like asking, drawing out the goals, the vision, and then bringing them through the visualization. It's like they say
Mm.
that they're like, wow, that was very, that was
Yeah.
incredible.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. Personalization is extremely important, especially when you try to start, starting out as a beginner. Like once you get past it, you might not need us as much, I would say. You good on your own.
Yeah, but like honestly, at every new level, there's a new devil. It's
Mm.
like
Oh.
now that it comes to showing up on stories, I'm more confident. And now when it comes to like selling, I'm more confident. And when it comes to like doing, going on live and stuff like that, I'm more confident. But when it comes to launching, which is something that I'm not used to, like I am actually
Uh-huh.
getting stuck, that's actually like I'm getting past my comfort zone. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and there's like other things. There's other things. Like I'm about to do a public, like a live talk in front of a group of entrepreneurs in April, which I'm super excited about. And I'm also like, it's new and things like that. So at every new level, there's a new devil. Like even Jennifer Lopez experiences imposter syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
who else? Maya Angelou and Jodie
Albert
Foster.
Einstein. Yeah.
Yeah, they like all told like publicly said that they have imposter syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter like where you are. It's like a mindset thing.
Right. And I think that is all of the questions I have for you today. I don't know if the chat or anybody here have any question for Petrina about, your mindset and, trying to move forward with life. But that was an amazing talk. Like I've learned a couple of things. To be honest, I've learned new things to journal now, besides, just writing down, what happened today, like a squirrel just passed me or something. But
Mm.
actually using it to move forward in my business as well. So thank you so much, Petrina. Um, and that is
Awesome.
pretty much it. Thank you for coming on to this live on short
Yes,
notice.
that's okay. That's okay. I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me and everyone. I'd love to chat with you on yeah, thanks for having me. And have a good night or have a
Bye
good
bye.
day. It's
Good
night over
day. Yeah,
here.
my yeah, sleep well. Bye bye.
Thanks. Bye.